Great, sorry.
All right, before we get started, we just wanted to let you all know that if you want to join our Zoom, that we have Shannon's email address in the description box. We talk about non-duality, spirituality, twin flames, divine counterparts, divine partners, whatever you want to call it, all of that. And we have this platform here to speak about all of that in a non-compromising way. We can be compromising, we can be uncompromising. We just have the floor open to everybody and anyone and what they want to talk about. So if you want to join us, shoot Shannon an email and we'll get started. You ready, Shannon?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Okay, so what came up for me was the whole runner chaser thing, runner chaser versus not runner chaser, whatever. And I feel like in the story we are told that, can you see me? Is there a reflection?
You know, the reflection's kind of weird, but I can see you.
I'm gonna close the curtains real quick. Sorry.
Okay.
Can you see me? No, it's still doing it. No.
Oh, actually, yeah, I think there's just light.
Okay. Can you see me? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, we were taught that to chase someone is bad. In the story, we are taught that, the female should never chase. And I feel like, now that realization has appeared to happen for me, it doesn't matter, because everyone has their own unique way about themselves. And there are men that don't like to chase.
Yeah, and there's women that do, and it's all different kinds of different kinds of behavior. But yeah, I mean, speaking to your point, hold on one second. Okay, so speaking to your point,
is this showing that it's recording? Sorry.
Yeah, it's recording. So what you're trying to say is that it's okay to chase if you're chasing, and it's okay to not chase if you don't want to chase. So once realization happens, there's a realization that there was never someone here. Everything is just happening on its own. So that's why a lot of our judgment falls off. A lot of our, oh, it shoulda, coulda, woulda, right, falls off because there was never anybody here really doing that. There was an illusion that someone was here doing that. So that's what waking up means, right? So now you have this perspective like, wait, who cares if you chase? Who cares if you don't chase? Because you don't have a personal perspective anymore. And the truth of the matter, the truth about life is that nobody has a choice of what's happening. It's all just happening organically, without a story, without meaning, without purpose. So if you're chasing, you're chasing. If you're seeking, you're seeking. If you're masculine, you're masculine. I mean, it doesn't matter anymore, but it does matter. You do feel it matters when you're in the story and the illusion and you're chasing your twin flame. Oh my God, I gotta stop. Oh my God, I can't do that. If I do that, they're not going to come back. But I stopped chasing my twin, right? There's no more seeking here and there's no more chasing, but my twin flame's still not here. So was it my chasing that was, so in the story, there's a reason. You chasing, that's why they're running away. But no, I'm not chasing and he's still not here. He's not supposed to be here. Like, period, right? And that's what you're trying to say is like telling people, give them a break. Like, they can do what they want to do. If they're chasing, they're chasing.
Yeah, right? Because it doesn't matter at the end of the day, because like I said, I'm not a chaser. Like, I like, the person to chase me. Where there are some females that in the story that like to chase, but when they do that, they're called desperate, clingy. Like I said in our last video, and I'm not sure if that video is even gonna show, I don't know. But like I said in the last video, You know, they're being told that they're clingy and that they're desperate. They got, you know, child, you know, just issues, daddy issues. But there's no such thing. There's no such thing. That's just what's coming up for them. And if that's what's coming up, then it is what it is. And for the men too, there are men that don't like to chase and they prefer the woman to make the move. But then, you know, they're told that they're wrong and they're not a man because they don't know how to, you know, approach a woman, blah, blah, blah. No, there's no such thing. It is what it is. There are no rules here.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like men that don't like to chase should be with more of a masculine type of woman that doesn't mind. I mean, yeah, masculine type of woman that doesn't mind chasing. In the story, like I'm more femme in the story. Like I prefer the man to chase me. I want a masculine type of man to chase me. You know what I mean? And it's not even masculine or femme. It is what it is. But yeah, I had to bring that up, you know.
Also, some people are naturally masculine or naturally feminine, whether they're a man or a woman. And that's just what's happening for them. That's their personality. I am super masculine when it comes to work. When it comes to work, I have balls. And when I'm in a relationship, I'm super feminine, you know? And then sometimes that masculine comes out in whatever, you know? It's like you can be a mix of everything. You know, it's non-duality. When you wake up, you realize that nothing's really wrong with you. Nothing you're doing is wrong because the reality is no one's doing it. It's just what's happening. And that's what you're trying to put across, is that it's okay. And it is okay. And because nobody's really trying, you can't stop the chasing if it's happening. You're just chasing. There's nothing you could do. You can't stop the seeking. It's gonna stop. You always tell me it's gonna stop when it stops. Because we don't have control. There is no control. The illusion is that we have control, and it's not true. So why put yourself through all of that shit, you know, when whatever's happening is happening.
Exactly. You know? Another thing that came up for me is what I want to ask you. You know, when I was a young little girl, I used to see things like in the story people would call it spirit. Okay. When I was a little girl, I would see I would wake up in my bedroom and I would literally see like people walking around in my room. Yeah. And I used to run to my parents' room immediately because I was terrified because I was a little girl. And they would tell me, it's a nightmare. You know, go back to sleep. You know, you're having a nightmare. Because my dad would actually get up and go and walk around and look to see if there was anybody in the room. And they couldn't see it. I would wake up. I remember one time waking up, my ex-husband, we were in bed, and I literally, something, you know how you feel the need to get up, you wake up out of nowhere. I saw an old woman standing in the doorway, and she was tall as hell. And she had like an 1800 dress on. It was buttoned up all the way to the neck.
That's creepy.
Her hair was pulled back in a bun in the back. She was real skinny. And she was just like this, looking at me, staring at me in the doorway. So I'm tripping, right? So I go over and I'm nudging my ex-husband, and he's not waking up. And I'm hitting him so hard, like, you know, his name was Joe. Joe, get up. Wouldn't get up for shit. I don't care how hard I hit him. So finally I was like, why is this bitch so tall, right? Because she was tall as hell. I called her a bitch. And I leaned over in the bed like this to see. And I was like, oh shit. I said, the bitch is floating, right? She was just her like this, moving, bobbing.
Oh my God, that is so scary, Shannon.
Right? And then when he woke up in the morning, I was like, did you not feel me beating your ass at night? And I'll call you back. You know, and look, it says music's playing. But anyways, yeah, I said, did you not hear me, you know, beating your ass at night? You know, I mean, did you not feel that? And he was like, no. I was like, I was nudging the hell out of your ass. And he goes, why? And I was like, because I seen someone. I said, standing in the doorway. I said, but she wasn't from this time. And Yeah, anyways, I was telling my mother about it, and she was like, Shannon, he didn't wake up because he wasn't meant to see that. You were, and finally my mom told me, after a while, she was like, Shannon, because I used to think every house that I moved into was haunted. And she goes, Shannon, no, the houses aren't haunted. You are. Like I was attracting these things apparently in the story, right? And
Wow.
these things still happen for me. In the story, it does. But do I hold attachments to it anymore? Absolutely not, because I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't know what is happening. And I don't even know if it's happening, right? So it's like when it appears to happen, it's like, okay, there it is. And then I just keep going, I just kind of flow with it. How about you? Do you get anything like that?
So like this like it's so important that you brought this up because you see the difference in our stories, right? Like I still have trauma coming up, right? You don't. Um, I used to see a lot of ghosts. I was like actually the person that was able to push them away somehow. Like I would speak to them and they would leave and respect me or whatever. Um, so yeah, I used to see them all the time. I don't see them anymore. I don't feel energies around me anymore. That is completely dropped off for me. But like trauma hasn't, so it's like it just shows you how some things won't drop off for some people and this is different over here. And I think every non-duality story is different for everybody. I don't know how I would react if I saw one of them, but I used to see them all the time, all the time. I mean, I was like the ghost lady, like
Mm-hmm.
I had a business before, and some of the boys in the back that were stalking, they wanted to quit. And they said because the boxes were moving in the back. And I went back there and I cleared out the air or whatever and
Mm-hmm.
talked to the ghosts. And they never came back. And they were all just like, how'd you do that? And they never came back. I don't know. I had this some sort of connection or whatever. I don't know. Obviously, it's like illusionary, but now I don't see them anymore. They don't come up. When I was little, they were coming up all the time. I'd tell my parents, they thought I was crazy. And it was some weird stuff. But so I feel you. I totally understand. But it just shows up differently for every person. That doesn't come up for me anymore.
And it's not even seen the way it used to be seen because I don't know what it is. I don't know
Okay,
what
so
any of that
yeah,
is.
so you're not calling it a ghost anymore. You're calling
No,
it.
I don't know what it is. When realization appears to happen, these things in the story may appear, but you don't know what the hell they are anymore because there's no story around it. There's no, well, that's a ghost. That person died and they're coming back to haunt you, whatever. That's not there anymore. But it's still like with the
There.
numbers and everything. Like I see the numbers, I see things, I see the synchronicities, but I don't know what that is. I don't make a whole big story around it anymore. There's no seeking and looking to find out what that is because it's
Yeah, there's
unknown. It's completely unknown.
there's no story, there's no meaning, there's no reason. It's just completely void of that. It has no meaning anymore. And the person is always looking to try to find an answer to why is this appearing. Oh, there's ghosts appearing because I'm haunted. There's ghosts appearing because I'm crazy or whatever. There's ghosts appearing because this house is haunted. There's a story. And now it's just that's what's happening. There's a ghost there. Well, you don't even want to call it a ghost. There's just something creepy, or I don't know what you want to call it.
Well, in the story, when I'm talking about it, I do tell, well, it's a ghost, because I mean, what can you do? Really? I mean, I just saw a ghost yesterday. You know what I mean? Because you can't walk around telling people, well, I don't know what that is. You can't go around doing that because society is on a whole nother level with
Yeah,
the
so
shit.
like the same thing with my trauma. I can't sit there and say, oh, I have to say, I have to call it something, right? Like, even though we don't know what it is, it's just purging out of my body. But I have to call it something because
Right?
so other people could understand that's what I'm talking about. But for me, it's just who knows what the hell is happening, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, we do have to put labels on certain things because we live in the illusion here. It's here. It's not going nowhere. And who really knows what happens when we're not appearing anymore, So I don't know. It's
It's
all kind of,
unknown. It's
yeah.
completely unknown. So I used to have a really like major belief in conspiracy theories.
Mm.
Like girl, even till this day, like I'll, I, it's weird. It's a little different for me now because when I go on TikTok, they talk about conspiracy theories all the time on there. And now when I see it, it's like I'm engulfed in it, but at the same time, I really don't have a belief on it around it anymore because I don't
You're
know
neutral.
yeah, I don't know what's really going on. Really, where before when the conspiracy theory would come up, I would like talk about it and I'd have this belief like, no, like this is what's really happening and blah, blah, blah. But now it's like, I don't really, it's hard for me to even talk about it because I don't know if anything that is coming up now. Well, it's not a knowing. It's not a belief anymore. There's no truth behind it because I don't know what's going on. Where before I would really like be engulfed in it and really talking about it all the time.
You picked a side of the coin before
Yes.
and you had a belief, and now, so I noticed on my side with like conspiracy theories or religion or whatever, anything that wants to come up, I'm more neutral. Um, Not like I'm neutral, like I'm trying to be neutral, like, oh, I don't want to pick a side. I just don't have anything to say anymore. I'm just just like watching a
Yeah.
conspiracy theory and being like, oh, it's interesting, and without the I have to have an opinion, I have to have a belief, I need to make a judgment. You just it is what it is for what it is now,
Yeah.
So I understand you, and I think that that happens a lot in a lot of things, like especially when people come and tell me like this happened and that happened, and I'm just like
Mhm.
kind of numb sometimes, like not even numb, but it's like that's just what's happening. It's just I don't know. It's
It is. And, we're always took with a lot of conspiracy theories, they do talk about like the whole like Hollywood thing and blah, 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 all that shit, right? But now it's like, and the dynamic shit that goes on and all that stuff. Like now it's like, I don't know what dynamic is. I don't know what holy is. I don't know what any of that shit is anymore. So, and there is no wrong or right here. So it's like, how can a person that has finally had this realization believe in any of that stuff anymore? Because it's like there's no belief anymore. It's just not there. It's gone.
I think the character continues to do its ways
Yeah.
sometimes. Like if you were interested in certain things, like I was super into astrology and I studied so much about it. And I still, like when someone asks me, I'll be like, yeah, Jupiter's turning in Aries and blah, 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 and I still, because there's so many years of me being in that. Um, I still see it manifest here and there, you know, for certain people and things like that, and see it in my life, like, but there's no real meaning or attachment to it. So, yeah, I mean, you lose a lot of what you believed in, but I still think the character still has a little of its spice of what it was.
Yeah, the character still dips into stuff. Like I do the tarot readings. Not so much anymore. I think it's kind of dwindling out. But
You
I
know
still
what's
think
funny? Do you feel like there's more things dwindling out lately?
yes, it's like going, I think, but they said that non-dual speakers will say in time, everything will just kind of just stop. It won't, and that's what's happened with my tarot readings. And now it's happening with the conspiracy theories. Like I'm starting to dwindle away on that.
Yeah, it's like I woke up, but now there's like the leftover shit. Like, and I'm not even noticing, but I'm just like, oh, I'm not doing that anymore. And I'm not, it's just, it's like there's more like stuff that are just becoming less meaningful in certain things. Like I don't think it's just one big bang, and then it's over. I think it's just like this. For me, it's been a continuous process. Like you're saying, like for me, there's my certain parts of my work I want to let go of that I've been trying to let go of for years. Like it's kind of just all coming together now. It's weird. Like I don't know. It's continuous for me a little bit.
You brought up certain speakers that no longer speak anymore, and I wonder if that happens. I wonder if that kind of dwindles away. And I would
And
hate for it to be that way, because for me, like, I love speaking on things like you do, and I wonder if it's gone, if it just dwindled away for them, and that's why we don't see them anymore.
you know what? And that could happen for us here. There's no guarantees anymore with non-duality. You believe me, there's things I need to do that I just can't do. I just can't do them. Like I don't know. I mean, if the person was still here, they would have lost their mind and did everything and did all these things. I just can't do them anymore. Like I can't force, lie, make myself do anything. Like some days I wake up and I don't want to work and I don't even feel guilty about it. Whatever. And some days I'll work in 15-hour days. I don't know. I mean, it's so unpredictable and so it is what it is. Um, it's just a different life, but the same, really, you're still here, but you just don't do anything unnecessary anymore. Or I don't even know how to say that. But I mean, do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. No, I do. Look, same with me. Like I was telling you when we were talking on our clips, that I work with me. Like sometimes I'll do it, sometimes I'm working, sometimes I'm not. I don't know what's gonna happen because things just happen. So I was telling her for us to be like on a certain regiment, whatever, we can't, because we just don't know anymore. I don't know. And I want to also put out there, something did go wrong with the first video. For those of you that are watching and you watched the first video, I thought I ended the Zoom, but I actually didn't. I just stopped it. I just stopped the recording.
oh,
So when you went back on to do the introduction, it was still the same fucking recording.
okay.
That's okay. That's okay. You know, it's just
Okay, so this example, if we were on this and I was like on the spiritual path or whatever in the past,
yeah.
I would have been like, you can't put that. People are gonna think something bad. They're not gonna think we're professional. We're not. I don't give a rat's ass if they saw us talking about our own shit. So I don't. There is no more having to be something for somebody else or whatever. That's what happened. That's what happened,
Yeah.
and that's what
It is
happened.
what it is. No, I'm not even tripping about it either, because I'm just like,
No,
oh,
but
and it's good because they'll know. You said another introduction to let people know that it's a safe. They need to be reminded of that, because we want people to know that it's just a safe space to actually come in and join us. That they can talk about whatever.
no, I know
So
you're not. I know you're not chirping about it,
yeah.
but I just brought up for me like I would have been a control freak, right? And
Mhm.
been like, no, things need to go this way and things need to go. And you know what? It is what it is. That's what happened. And that's the way the Zoom is going to come out. It's like this freedom to just be, I don't know. I appreciate it. Sometimes I forget about it because you're just like living regular life, but then you appreciate this kind of stuff. Like that would have given me a headache before because I was like a perfectionist. But anyways, anything else you want to talk about?
And being a perfectionist is completely okay too, because that's just what's coming up for you. You know what I mean? It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's you being authentically who you are. I'm a perfectionist in certain ways too, but in other things. I'm
Mm-hmm.
more relaxed when it comes to like work and shit like that. I'm just more of a laid back person in that way. I've always been. Um, I did want to talk about something else that was brought up in our one of our Zooms, the Zoom last week when we had the four of us on there. And what was brought up that I wanted to talk about was this is about twin flames. Um, um, you know, what was brought up is that, do you still love your twin flame, right? And with me, I don't, that's gone. Like there's no love. There's no nothing. Like there's no romantic feelings there anymore. That's gone. That has fallen off. How you would say it, it has fallen off. It's gone. And yeah, where before yeah, I always felt like I had love for him. I always had that love, and but I still moved on, but I had that love for him. Well, I don't have any of that anymore. It's completely gone. There's nothing there at all. I've completely let go.
I'm right there with you. At the end of the spiritual path, I had some unconditional love for him, which I always did, right? But there was this feeling of, even if we moved on, I will always love you. And then once, I don't know, I call it, I fell into non-duality. That's what it fucking felt like. It felt like I just fell in a black hole. So, I mean, that's what happened for me, and I just don't want to be I want to be able to express myself the way that I want to. But yeah, I fell in a black hole, and then I had to let him go. And then I don't have any love for him. I don't. I haven't seen him since then. I haven't really talked about him, but before, if someone talked about him, I'd get all shaky and energetically weird and stuff. But I feel like okay. I don't have any desire to talk to him or get closure or fix it or seek him, and none of it. No, nothing. And thank the Lord. Thank the Lord. I mean, Sarah, you know how exhausting it is to have a twin flame? They're like, blah, 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 blah. They're in your head all day, 24/7. What is this? What's going to happen? Where is this magical love affair? Is he going to come back? When is he? Oh my God. And you're like not, they're like in your head 24/7. The stories in your head 24/7. Twin flames are 20. You can't move on. I got like became celibate. All of this stuff. It was so exhausting. I am so happy. I'm so happy that is over.
Well,
I don't know if it'll ever happen again. Who knows? We never know. But for now, I'm on the same page as you. There's no love.
well, just like that girl, that you had come across. I don't know the girl's name. We don't even need to say her name. But, she really believes that you'll always love your twin flame. And no, absolutely not, because there is life after twin flame. I always used to believe, God, I'm always going to have that love for him. No,
Me too.
It's happened recently. It has fallen off. It's gone. Like there's no love. What's no desire, no nothing. And if he was to appear, one of them were to appear, it wouldn't be what it was.
So what twin flame are you talking about? I mean, I'm just
All
curious
of them.
because I know your story. All of them.
It's
because
gone.
there was one at the end that still you kind of liked. So all of them,
All
everything's
of them.
gone for all of them.
It's gone. It's gone. And I just want to let a lot of people out there know that have a twin flame. And I don't even know what that is. Okay. That's just a concept that someone has literally built this whole damn story around. And it gets bigger than it needs to be. But anyway, there is life after twin flame. There is. And it does fall off. It does fall away.
But it's so funny because when we woke up, you still kind of cared for your twin, but you see how everything's kind of falling off more and more and more and more. Like mine was one big like my twin, it was like one huge disaster, and you were there for me, and it was just gone. And then like it somehow you continue to evolve after you wake up. Like it's like the residue falls off, like the bullshit stuff.
Well,
you
they
know?
said that this non-dual speakers will tell you that, like it all kind of just comes off slow. It will all just, it'll just keep going. It never, it just keeps, things just keep falling off,
Well,
you
that's like
know?
my whole trauma, right? I call it trauma. This deep emotional pain I have in the past. It's kind of, I see it kind of, you know, untangling itself. Um, it's very slightly, you know, like very slowly. So the twin flame can slowly die off of you, like fall off of you. A lot of things, the conspiracy theory, certain things, you know, I just can't exercise the way I used to before. Like there's a lot of things that just continue to just, I don't know. And it changes. Some days are different, but my twin, he does not come in my head. I don't have any more love for him. There's, you know, and then when you tell a twin that you're not going to love them anymore, they freak out. They freak out. Like, how could you say that? I love them so much. There's no way that this love is so strong. How could you tell me that I'm not going to love this person anymore? And I get it. I was there. I used to tell my mom that if he was like a crocodile, I would love him. Like that's how much I love the guy. I don't care what he's doing. He's like, you know, very like I could still get in contact with him. I know he's like around the corner. He's not far away from me. You know, I know. I mean, I'm best friends with his sister. No, I have no desire. I hope he's happy. Not like nothing ever happened. Like whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very interesting.
It is. It's, you know, a lot of twin people that are in the twin flame community really believe that it will never end and that they will always love this person. And it
It
may,
ends.
and they may still hold on for years on out, you know, it's whatever's coming up for them. And apparently, and in our story, whatever, it's gone. It's
We're
gone.
free. We're free.
You know, and for those of you that would like to know how it apparently happened or what our story was, join the Zoom.
So the girl, the that I was talking about TikTok, I told her that I don't love my twin anymore. She said, "You were never a twin." I said, I hope that you have an open mind. I get it. I understand where you are. I said, just know that there's more to the path than where you are right now. You were not exactly where you were a year ago. You know, just know that there's more. And maybe you're not going to hit non-duality. And I get it. I get it. For those that will love their twin flame for the rest of their life, good for them. I don't care what happens, but I'm speaking about this because that's what I'm supposed to be doing here right now. But for those that have to let go of their twin and stop loving them, because that was a long journey, Shannon. That was a long journey. We were both on a 5-year, 6-year journey of loving this person so much that we're going to die, right? Like, and it's good to speak about it. It's good to talk about it. And yeah, there could be a point if this journey is for you or whatever, this non-duality is for you, whatever you want to call it, that you will not love your twin anymore. And there's two of us right here that have no desire, no love. Like, I don't even know that shit happened.
I don't even remember when it happened. Honestly, it just happened. It went away. I don't have no desire at all. You know, and I used to believe that it would never happen for me. Like I used to believe, God, this is gonna keep going on. No, it's gone. And we are running out of time soon here, so I will
Okay.
let you know when it ends. But I do have one more before we go.
Okay.
And we were asked, Tawny, you know, asked what the last Zoom meeting that we had, do we still see the signs? Do we still see synchronicities? And I apparently do. In the story, I see the numbers, I see all of it, but there's no more stickiness to it. Like
there's no meaning.
Yeah, there's no meaning. There's no narrative around it. I just see it, flow with it. I'm like, oh, that's super cool. And I keep going because I don't really know what's happening. I don't know what's going on, but I see it and I think it's cool, but there's no more story around it. That story's gone. You know what I mean?
So
I used to seek and look it up, angel numbers and shit like that. I used to go seek it out and try to find a meaning to it, but There's no more of that. It's gone.
I had a meaning for everything, this number and that number and this and whatever. I don't see any numbers. But when I was on the path, I purged a lot of stuff and I would see a lot of dead animals. I still see them now every time I feel like I let go of some more.
Wow.
I know I don't know what's going on outside. There's people screaming. I still every time I let something go, I see like another dead animal in the street, or I wake up and there's like dead bees outside. I still see them, but I don't go like, oh my God, the meaning, spiritual meaning of, dead bees,
Yeah.
I'm just like, I guess that's what's happening here. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have a meaning anymore. Like you said, like you see the numbers and they're just numbers. You
They are.
recognize that you're seeing them over and over, but they don't carry the weight that they used to. Everything was so meaningful and so like, oh my God, I saw 1-1 at one this, like it was crazy. My twins coming back today and
Yeah.
nothing ever happened.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's about to end. We're 3 minutes away.
All right.
But again, we will be having another Zoom tomorrow. But so for those of you that would like to join us tomorrow at 1 o'clock Pacific time, feel free to join. Click the link in the description and email me, and I will add you. But until next time, bye for now.
Bye. It was great to talk to
Bye.
you.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.